Crank up the volume and get ready for real-world bird hunting by listening to the Wingmen podcast by Eastman's. Now your host, Todd Helms.
Talk about being on the X.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Savage Firearms. You know, Savage came out with the Renegade just recently, a couple of years ago now actually, and we've been blessed enough to partner with them recently, and I'm stoked to be shooting the Renegade, but I gotta be honest, I love my over and unders. And I was super excited to check out the Stevens side of the Savage lineup, and that's where you're gonna find your single shots and your over and unders. The Stevens 555 is my pick for an over and under. I've been able to shoot one now. Honestly, we've had one in our hands for a couple of years, and I've been able to shoot it on and off at sporting clays on a couple different hunts, especially upland stuff. And man, it's light in the hand. It's super quick to the shoulder. It shoots exactly where you're looking, where I'm looking anyway, and it throws killer patterns. And I am stoked to be hooked up with Savage, but still be able to shoot an over and under at the same time when I want to. That's that Stevens 555. Man, it's an awesome shotgun, especially when you're talking bang for the buck. Guys, I can't tell you how much gun you're getting for really smoking price on those. I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact MSRP is on those, but you're going to find, obviously, MSRP is one thing. You're going to find them for different prices at different retailers. And I just had the opportunity to talk to a guy while I was at one of our local sporting goods stores about that Stevens 555. I picked one up. I was looking at it. I was like, man, that's a really nice shotgun. I was telling my dad, man, bang for the buck, this is an awesome shotgun. And there was a customer standing there with his kid, and he comes walking over, and he goes, hey, man, I heard you talking about that Stevens. You know, I've got, brand XYZ. How do you think that compares? And I said, well, especially when you're talking about bang for the buck and the money the money you're going to spend for what you're going to get. I was like, dude, that shotgun, you can't beat it. It's a phenomenal shotgun. If it fits you, man, go for it. He obviously was already intrigued by it. He walked over, looked at it, the kid's shoulder. He's like, what do you think? Kid goes, I like this gun, Dad. Boom, bought it right there on the spot. That's not a shameless plug for my sales ability because I don't have much sales ability, to be honest. But that was just me having the ability, having the experience with the Stevens line and knowing what a high-quality shotgun that Savage produces in that Stevens lineup, that I could just unequivocally say, hey, man, you're not going to be disappointed. It's a great shotgun. Check it out. Same goes, obviously, for the Renegade lineup and all the Stevens lineup. Savage is making awesome shotguns made in America. I can't say enough about that, how proud I am to be partnered via Wingmen through an American-made company. Thank you, Savage, for sponsoring today's podcast. And if you get a chance, guys, make sure you're checking out both the Savage Renegade and this full line of Stevens shotguns as well. You're not going to be disappointed. Hey, guys, welcome to episode 78 of the Wingmen podcast. I'm your host, Todd Helms, coming to you from the Eastman's Hunting Journal's studio, and I'm stoked today to bring you an announcement. We announced it earlier on social media and on YouTube, but I'm stoked today to bring you the official podcast announcement of a new partnership that Wingmen has with Kryptek. Yeah, Kryptek, the outdoor clothing company, the hunting clothing company, the camo company. You guys have probably seen this. This is a super unique camo pattern. This is kind of the flagship camo pattern that Kryptek has, called Highlander, and they've had this one a long time, but they make a pile of other really awesome camo patterns, and they're more than just a camo company. That's what's cool about them. They are a hunting apparel company, if you will. And for a long time, I've admired Kryptek. I've admired that company's ethos. I've admired the fact that they are pro Second Amendment, that they are hardcore hunters and gun and firearm enthusiasts, they're outdoorsmen, they're veterans. This is a veteran-owned company, veteran-started company, and I like that. It appeals to me. It appeals to my sense of kind of who I am and who I feel that I want to be aligned with, and I want this brand to be aligned with. And so I was really happy when they decided to partner with us, and I've been able to, through the Eastman's big game side of things, I was able to put a bunch of their clothing through the paces these last 2 years now. This last season for Wingmen, I used the Kryptek stuff, and you guys are going to be seeing all kinds of content drop, all the hunts from last year that we filmed in Kryptek, and I'm really stoked about that. And I couldn't be happier to bring it to you. I've found some pieces that are just dynamite in their lineup and that I'm going to give you the rundown on. So I have my computer here so I can have them pulled up on their website, and I can tell you kind of my top picks of what really performed above and beyond for me in both the big game and the waterfowl side of things, but mostly waterfowl and a little bit of upland as well. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of give you my rundown of some pieces and some experiences that I've had wearing the apparel in both big game and the waterfowl and a little bit of upland arena and on last spring's turkey hunt. First things first, if you go to kryptek.com, if you go to their website, they have a spring turkey kit all put together for you on their website. And I'm going to go through that kind of piece by piece and give you my impression, my take on each of these pieces and kind of how I use them and what I do and things that I would add to their spring turkey kit. So they've got the Dalibor 3 jacket, which is it's a rain jacket. And I don't hunt turkeys in the rain a lot, but I have used the Dalibor in big game scenarios a little bit and in waterfowl scenarios, and it's a great jacket. It's going to keep you out of the weather, and it's going to perform for you. They have a Krypton glove, which I really like. In the latest turkey hunt video, which is out now on the Eastman's YouTube channel, that's our kind of our parent YouTube channel. You could see me wearing the Krypton glove while I'm manipulating turkey calls. And I like that glove. It's got smart tip fingertips on it. I can operate my smartphone with it on there. You guys have heard me say on camera before that the only thing you can do well with gloves on is pee your pants. And most of the time, I honestly feel that way. Most of the time on my hunts, you're going to see just the bare paws, right? I don't wear gloves unless I absolutely have to. But the Krypton glove is a glove that it helps me maintain dexterity. It gives me a little bit of warmth against my skin. For you guys that need a glove to kind of help trap some warmth on your hands, but you don't want something real bulky that's going to get in the way, the Krypton glove works really, really well. It performed well on the turkey hunt last spring because it was chilly in the mornings, and I like having a covering on my hands when I'm turkey hunting because I really feel like your hands shine, especially the backs of your hands, and turkeys can see that. And so that Krypton glove is lightweight, works really good. Next thing that they have on there is their Valhalla pant. And there's a story that goes with the Valhalla pant that, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but that's one of the few, maybe the only product that's really not gone through a lot of renovation over time. That pant is a home run for Kryptek. It is a lot of folks would consider it an early season pant because it's pretty lightweight, pretty thin, breathes extremely well, dries really fast. But I've personally worn those pants on late season waterfowl hunts and on late season upland hunts. I wore a base layer, merino wool base layer under the pants on a late season pheasant hunt in Montana where the wind chills were -20, and I never had a problem. I like the pant. I like that pant because it breathes really well. It just moves with you. You almost forget you're wearing it. It's not probably. It is my favorite pant in the entire Kryptek lineup for just about anything. Now, are they brush pants? Are they pants that you're gonna be able to bust through brush with? And you upland guys out there, not the pant for busting through briars. It's not gonna hold up to that. But if you're turkey hunting, they're flexible. They're great for that. Lightweight, breathable. They work great with a base layer under them. Your early season dove hunts or upland bird hunts where you're not busting brush, you're walking through grass and things like that. Valhalla pant is the pant. That's my go-to pant. I love that thing. They have a balaclava on there, and I'm not a balaclava fan. I don't like that much facial coverage, but for you guys that like balaclavas, it comes in a whole different slate of their camouflage patterns. Again, guys, there's lots of options when it comes to camo for Kryptek now. The Valhalla pant in general comes in Highlander. It comes in their new Obscura Transitional, which if you look at my turkey hunting video on YouTube, the breakdown of the new layers of my early season and late season turkey layers, that Valhalla pant in Obscura Transitional is money. If you're hunting where there's a lot of green, the Obscura Transitional is your go-to pattern for Kryptek. It's got a lot of greens in it. It's got some dark in it. It's very reminiscent of that old military kind of tiger stripe pattern. And that pattern's made a comeback, I know, but this Obscura Transitional is incredible. I had a chance to hunt side by side with Brandon Mason last fall on a bear hunt and waterfowl hunt in Alberta. And he was wearing the Obscura Transitional on our bear hunts. And there was enough green in that early season, early September landscape that he just disappeared into the background. He was just gone. There were a couple times I would turn around to say something to him and he'd be standing there. And if I didn't know he was there, I would have had a really hard time finding him. So later in the spring and early fall, man, that Obscura Transitional pattern is going to shine across the board. It also worked extremely well in the duck blind later in late season. You'd think, wow, greens in a duck blind, maybe in early season, but definitely in the early season. But it just breaks up the human silhouette and outline so well that I was super impressed. Now, I wore the Highlander pattern almost exclusively for waterfowl. I like the brown muted tones in the Highlander, and I feel like it blends with a wide variety of conditions and situations, and so I chose that. The other pattern that you can get the Valhalla pant in is the altitude pattern. It's like the Highlander pattern, but it's more green and gray. Another really good late season turkey pant, early season waterfowl pant, or pattern, I should say. And then the Obscura Skyfall pattern is their whitetail pattern. And that's a very kind of an open pattern, really designed to break up the human silhouette from below. When you're looking up, it's kind of a grayish, a lot of darks in it. But this is another pattern that surprised us. When we put it in the duck blind down in the river bottom in the brush, it disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. It would not surprise me that if you guys were to wear this, you timber guys, if you were to put that Obscura Skyfall pattern to work in the timber, in a timber hole for ducks, that you would disappear. At first blush, you're going to think it's probably a little light colored, but it's almost like it just melds into whatever background there is. You guys that are hunting a lot of brush and a lot of open marshes where there's not a lot of marsh grass, but it's brushy environments, like our river bottoms here, that Obscura Skyfall pattern was money later in the season. It disappeared. All right, getting back to the clothing lineups though. The Jupiter jacket and Jupiter rain pant are both, again, kind of their rain gear. They're awesome. They're lighter weight than the Dalibor 3 and more for a run and gun style. Again, I don't hunt a lot in the rain. If I was looking for an early season waterfowl setup for rain gear, I'd look at the Jupiter. Again, in any of those camo patterns. The Alios pant is on their turkey list as well. I love the Alios pant. It's a little heftier than the Valhalla pant. It's got some it's knee pad compatible, which for turkey hunting is money. And it's got some abrasion resistance in the knees as well. A little bit heavier duty. It's a little bit warmer pant. If you're hunting in colder conditions, man, that Alios pant's going to shine for you. The next up on here is their Dallol, I think I said that right, Dallol long sleeve rugby. It's a rugby shirt. This is a killer base layer for early season waterfowl hunts, util guys, dove guys, and of course, late season turkeys when it's hot, warm. It's synthetic material. It breathes extremely well, and it has all their camo patterns. The thing is, I love it. It's a great pattern. Dalibor 3 pant, again, that's a heavier duty rain pant. Now my go-to for the face covering when it comes to Kryptek, I really like the Kronos hoodie that I'm wearing, and I can zip it up all the way around and it covers all the way to here, zips up. But there's times when this thing's too warm. That's where this Kryptek Hoorag comes in. And all it is just it's a Hoorag. It's just like a neck gaiter. You can cover up your whole head and face with it. And it's all kinds of different camo patterns in the Kryptek family. And it is a really versatile piece. You can wear it as a head covering. I just use it to pull up over my face. They have the Petra Gator, the Petra Gator 2 in here. If you haven't worn gaiters on a turkey hunt, especially in the West, you're missing out. They help keep those ticks from crawling up the insides of your pant legs. They keep that early morning dew from soaking your pant legs, help keep you dry. They're well worth the investment there. Going to the second page, they have the Valhalla long sleeve shirt, the Dallol short sleeve rugby, and the Dalibor vest. I am a vest guy. I love vests. Both the Dallol short sleeve rugby and Valhalla long sleeve are really lightweight, early season, kind of like base layer shirts. When it's hot, you can wear them by themselves, but they work great as a base layer, and you can put stuff over the top. In here, I would add to this system the Kronos hoodie, and I would add the LDAX puffy jacket. If you go to our YouTube channel, go to the Eastman's YouTube channel, you'll see my complete breakdown of turkey layers, my Kryptek turkey layers, and the LDAX jacket is in there. Wherever, I've always lived in the northern tier states, so early mornings during turkey season a lot of times are chilly. And having the ability to have a lightweight, puffy layer that I can wad up and stuff in a backpack or stuff in a turkey vest is money. It keeps me warm while I'm waiting for those early morning birds come off the roost. But it's not so bulky and too much insulation. The LDAX is perfect for turkey. It's like custom made for it. I would add that jacket in here, but back to that Dalibor vest. I like the Dalibor vest more than the Dalibor jacket because I'm a vest guy. I like soft shell vests, and that's what the Dalibor is. It offers just enough weather protection when I throw it over something like this, like a mid layer, like the Kronos or a base layer, where it's gonna keep the wind off my core. And if it does spit rain a little bit, it's gonna keep my core dry. And honestly, that's about all I need. So those are things that I would add to their turkey list. Now, that's great, Todd. That's just the turkey system. I've already done a video on the Kryptek turkey system, and I just broke down all of their main camo patterns for you. Again, they all have their place. They all have their setting. If I had to pick one to do it all, it's going to be Highlander for me. It's Highlander for me. That might not be your pick. Check them all out. Guys, you can find this stuff online at the Kryptek website. Go to your local stores and check them out there as well. Put these clothes on, compare them, wear them, try them on. I think you're going to be impressed with not only the fit and the feel of these clothes, but the quality, and the camo patterns are second to none. They just disappear. But back to some of the
pieces that I have worn and put through the ringer. Again, I'd add a puffy to the spring turkey kit because I love puffy jackets, and LDAX would get the nod for that. But for waterfowl, what I wore day in and day out for waterfowl, and let's talk about ducks. Ducks first. There were 2 jackets that got the nod for me, like consistently in the duck blind. Now, you guys know that you've watched us hunt out here enough, and you know that duck season's out here in Wyoming, the colder the better. And you need some warm apparel to stay out there and to keep you in the field long enough. And Kryptek makes it. They've got it dialed. My go-to, I got 3 pieces, 3 jackets that were go-tos for me. And granted, this is with a base layer. Again, this Kronos hoodie, maybe it's my base layer, or I really like their Theos Merino Henley with this over the Kronos over the top, and then a Dalibor vest, and then like a puffy or these 3. The Air Ace jacket is their warmest puffy jacket. It's down, it compresses down, packs down to nothing. So if you're a guy, like a refuge guy, big public land guy, or even you just gotta walk a long ways to get to your spots, and you got a backpack, that Air Ace puffy jacket is money. I know a lot of you guys down south in the Midwest, a puffy might not be the right call for you because you need something that's more waterproof than a puffy. I don't have that problem out here because it doesn't rain normally when I'm hunting waterfowl, because if it's precipitation coming down, it's snow. And so I don't have to worry so much about a waterproof layer up top. Just an insulation layer to help keep me warm. The Air Ace gets the nod for me almost across the board. The Njord jacket is another one. If I don't need something to be packable, the Njord's like a soft shell on the outside, but it's got a real high pile fleece interior that's just cozy, man. You put that thing on and it just feels great. I could wear the Njord with over just a base layer and throw the Air Ace jacket over the top, and that would cover like 99% of situations that I'm going to run into for late season waterfowl. And that's laying in a goose blind, in a duck blind, whatever I might find myself in. The jacket that I used a lot later in the season, that when I just wanted to be like throw it over a hoodie, was the Aegis jacket. The Aegis is waterproof. It's more of a fleece outer. Very pliable, very soft, very tough though, and it is ridiculously warm. I found that I couldn't set out decoys and wear the Aegis at the same time because I'd get overheated and just sweat it up to the point where I had to take it off, set it aside. But those 3 jackets, those are my go-tos for late season waterfowl. Air Ace, Njord, Aegis. Depending on what you like, those will cover the gamut of what you want. For earlier season waterfowl, I'd probably go with just the Dalibor jacket, their soft shell jacket over, maybe this and a base layer. That would be about it. Now, pants, what did I wear for like late season? We'll go to insulated pants. My late season go-tos for like late season goose hunting and any dry land hunting that I did, because obviously I wear waders almost exclusively on duck hunts. The Aegis bib got the nod 10 times out of 10. I really love bibs with the fact that they're warm. You don't get any cold spots. Nothing rides up. They're just awesome. You're laying in a layout blind or even in an A-frame. Man, the Aegis bib just was awesome. Again, Highlander was the go-to pattern for me for all of my waterfowl. It just disappears, whether I'm hunting in a cornfield, whether I'm in a marsh, whether I'm in the river bottom, laying in a stubble field for mallards in a layout blind or an A-frame. The Highlander just disappears. Fits the bill perfect. The Velis pant and the Njord pant are 2 more that for waterfowling, man, they're awesome. That Njord pant is like a heavy soft shell with that high pile fleece interior, works awesome. The Velis pant is Kind of like the Aegis in that it's a fleece outer material, not quite as warm as the Aegis. And again, that Aegis bib gets the nod. I would wear that Aegis bib. Honestly, I would just throw on like a pair of Valhalla pants, maybe a base layer under the Valhalla pants, and wear those around in the truck. And then I'd put those Aegis bibs on when I got where I was going. So I didn't have to wear them around because they're those Aegis layers are super, super warm. All right, so honestly, guys, those are kind of the go-to pieces that I wore all year long during waterfowl seasons. There's a couple other pieces in here that I think are really just top-notch pieces of equipment, and that's the base layers, the merino base layers that they have. I like a Henley base layer. I'm not a zipper fan in my base layers. I don't like those because I have a bigger neck, and invariably I haven't found very many zip up base layers that I can zip up around my neck. They choke me, they don't stay zipped, and honestly I like being able to vent a base layer, so that's the zipper's nice for that. I like that better than I like a crew style. And that's where the Ethos merino wool from Kryptek is awesome. That shirt, it's a Henley style. It's a 3-button Henley, and I can unbutton all of them, and I can get just enough thermal regulation where if I get overheated, I can just open that up. It's awesome. If I need more draft protection, I can button them up, and it turns into like a crew. I love that. Just phenomenal piece. The Theo merino pants, again, under the Helios pant or the Valhalla pant, they're money. They're going to keep you warm. They kept me warm in ridiculously cold conditions on Montana, late Montana, goose hunt and pheasant hunt. There's a ton of stuff out there, probably a ton of stuff out there that the company does. They've got hats, they've got gloves, they've got shorts, they've got a line of fishing apparel now. Guys, this Kryptek is literally the only thing you'd need to wear. They've got lifestyle clothes. You're going to see me wearing quite a bit of their lifestyle line. They have a flannel shirt that's just awesome, and I'm going to pull it up so I can tell you exactly what it is. I'm trying to remember. The tartan flannel long sleeve. I love that shirt. Love it. The only reason I'm not wearing one on camera is I want you to see the camel pattern, and that's the fastest way to recognize this brand. They got a full lineup of stuff. Absolutely anything you could possibly need. One of the kind of pieces that I ended up wearing a ton this year that I shouldn't say I wore it a ton. When I needed it, it performed incredibly well. Was the Wraith over whites from Kryptek. They make two different styles over whites. They're both on there. I believe one is Obscura and the other one is the Wraith, and I got the Wraith over whites. And for hunts when I needed to hide in the snow, holy smokes, you talk about disappear. There was one instance where Dan Picard was filming in the duck blind you see us filming a lot, and it was a pretty snowy day. There was quite a bit of ice, big ice shelf, and he wanted to get a different angle, but he wanted to remain hidden. So he put those over whites on, and he went out and he laid down in the snow and the ice, and if it wouldn't have been for that camera sticking out, you wouldn't have been able to see him. And he was 40 yards away. Absolutely incredible stuff. The camouflage technology, the technology that Kryptek has put into their camouflage is phenomenal. We're talking Department of Defense approved. This is military tested stuff that is tough as nails, performs under every condition that I could throw at it in the last 2 years between big game and Wingmen. I've been super pleased. And again, just everything about the company, guys. They're, like I said, man, they're pro Second Amendment. They're patriots. It's a veteran-owned company, and they're hunters, and they get it done. Just a quality group of folks that I am stoked to be partnered with. And I can't wait to show you more on video. And if you have any questions about any of their clothes, man, shoot me an email. editorial@eastmans.com or todd.helms@eastmans.com. Shoot me an email. Comment on this, and I can answer questions for you, make recommendations for you. But more importantly, go to your local sporting goods store, any place that has the Kryptek brand, and check it out firsthand. Get your hands on it, put it on, try it out. Ask people in the field that you see wearing it and what they think, because I think you're probably going to hear nothing but positives from them. I know that's the case for me, and like I said, I couldn't be more stoked to be repping this brand. They line up with us, with me and the Eastman's brand and the Wingmen brand 100% across the board, and they make top-notch gear. It's just, it performs, it disappears. Camo patterns are top-notch. The clothes are phenomenal. Anyway, check them out. Thanks for listening to episode 78 of the Wingmen podcast. I've got more stuff in the works coming. I'm going to be breaking down another new partnership that we have for you. And I've got my guest for episode 79. I had to do a re-record with him. I wanted to drop that podcast earlier in the year, but there was a glitch in the recording and we had to re-record. And so I'm dropping that as episode 79. And you're talking West Coast widgeon on that one. If you guys got a hankering to go out west, like I'm talking Washington State, and shoot ducks in sheetwater fields, especially widgeon, Eurasian widgeon, American bald pate, this is your guy. This is the outfit you guys want to take a look at. And I will, without giving too much away, I'll let you tune into that episode. Again, that's episode 79. And thank you for listening. Good luck out there in the field. Keep us tuned in and make sure you're checking us out on all of our social media platforms as well, and as YouTube. And stay tuned. We've got more great stuff with Kryptek involved coming your way.